Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we want to take a deeper look at a couple of air strategies and why I think those are the strongest, what you have to do for mastering those, and what is pretty much the key at making them work. One more thing is that we're taking a look at the Tribe Gaming versus Blood and Soul War as well, which happened at this weekend, and it was a CWL Elite match, which a lot of you guys asked for whether I could do like a small recap or anything. This is already our second match, and we won this one by 10 stars as well. I think the first one we won by 12 stars, something like that. So it looked really good so far, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of matches. So let's take a look at the attacks. And the first one is going to be on number 14. Here we go. Get my paper back as well. So, what is the army and what is the key pretty much to succeed? And at this point, I will let the attack already run a little bit because we don't want to concentrate on the first phase. You want to concentrate on the second one. And this is still Sui Lalo. I talked about this already, why I think this is the strongest strategy in the game right now. And the thing why it's okay that it's so powerful is because it's so freaking hard to execute. It's not really easy or anything. When you can master it, you're pretty much the king of your clan, because mastering Sui Lalo is like one of the toughest things in Clash of Clans. Yes, Queen Charge is really tough as well, but I think Sui Lalo is like, it's maybe really close. In my opinion, Sui Lalo is a little bit harder, and I think it's a bit better as well. But I think at some point you don't really can compare too much. But like I said, so we nearly missed already everything because I talked too much. So what is the key and what did he do at this point? And he did drop the haste spells really early before he even deployed the first loon, the first hound or the first loon. Why did he do that? He did do that because otherwise he has to concentrate on too many things. Even those masters at those attacks try to make it simple because then it's easier to perform and there will less mistakes occur. So what is he doing? He's dropping the haste spells at the points where the groups will eventually group up. So those are the 3 points. He dropped the haste spells really early, and he knows that his hounds won't fly too far into the base because the air defenses are kind of far on the outside as well. On every air defense, 1 hound just to tank for all his group of loons. And then he deployed all of his loons in like small groups, like those 2 at one point, those 2 at one point, those 2 at one point, and once again over here and over here. Why is he doing that? Why is he not like drawing one line with his fingers and hoping for the best? It's pretty simple because this is way more controlled. Like when you're doing like this, you know how many loons to drop on which defense. You always try to concentrate to have at least 3 loons on each defense, because then it takes out every single defense immediately. A couple of times 2 loons are enough, but in most cases, especially in those Sui Lalo cases where you have that many loons, you should try to concentrate on having on every single defense at least 3 loons. That's what he's doing, so let's check out what he's doing next. After having this huge wall of loons pretty much, he is dropping the next haste spells, which are in the second layer, like over here and over here. Once again, over the concentrated areas of the base. And now he has like a huge group of loons in this base pretty much, because all of his hounds died already, but that's no problem because the loons in combination with the warden are so tanky that this is actually a no-brainer at this moment. It's all about the loon placement in the beginning and how you can direct your loons through the base. We will talk about the pathing a little bit later and how you can replicate that as well. But at this one, Lucas completely smashed the base. The loons always flew like perfectly in one line, so it was really nicely done, and this is going to be a crazy overkill and the first of his triples. We are taking a look at the next attack of him as well, and after that we are taking a look at a pretty much similar strategy, but how you guys can pretty much learn the strategy because it's a bit more easy to do. So the next one is going to be on the number 10, I think. Yep, that's him again. So huge shout out to him as well because he had the 6-pack. And one more thing to notice is that he's always going for the town hall, and he's able to do that because the CC isn't placed properly. So it's kind of like a base building mistake as well. But well, most of the clans do have those base building mistakes, so you can easily take advantage of them doing this mistake. So what do we have? He's going for the Town Hall once again, using the king to tank, then breaking his queen in to take the Town Hall out, and this area pretty much as well. This is like what he's going for to take out. After that, it's all about, once again, about the loon placement, and I won't go any further onto the Sui. It's just like all about the loon placement we want to talk about. And the key for this is pretty much to plan it out. Like, you always want your loons fly in one direction and not like, I don't know, like this group of loons fly over here, then they're flying back, then they're flying over here. You want them to have one direction, and you always have to support them from the outside to actually make sure that this group is always flying into this direction. So after taking out the town, let's take a look at the Lalo part a little bit closer. So what he's doing, he's dropping the first hound, the second hound, and he's dropping on every single defense one group, like one group over here, one group, one group, one group. And this makes the loons always fly in one line, because the loons from the Archer Tower will go to the Wizard Tower, the cannon to the Inferno Tower, the air defense to the Inferno Tower, and the bottom group is going to be the Archer Tower, then the Wizard Tower, and then the Mortar. One thing which you notice as well, he's always dropping 3 to 4 loons. The reason behind that is because he wants to take out the defenses as fast as possible, and if you don't have those at least 3 loons, you won't one-shot those buildings, and that's a little bit annoying. So let's take a look at how he's going on. He's dropping the Slammer to make sure that he has all of his loons inside. Now the Rage, because there's a huge group of defenses, Poison and Skeleton onto the enemy queen, and the Warden is getting close, like the Warden ability is getting closer from the outside. He's dropping a couple of more loons from the outside. I'm sorry for stopping so many times, but otherwise it's not easy to explain everything. But with the loons from the outside, he makes sure that they are flying to the Wizard Tower, and this makes sure that everything over here is gone. This means, once again, the groups in the middle can only fly ahead and not back, and that's key to make sure that your air attacks have huge success. And he's doing this perfectly. Once again, he has this big group in the core of the space, and he just has to support the outside of his loons pretty much. And this means they're grouping up over here. They don't have to fly back because everything is already here cleared. And now they group up and get into the last phase of this attack, which is the last Inferno Tower. And this is how you can overkill those bases. It looks so easy, but there's a reason why I did not do it by my own, and I just show you the replays. There's a reason for that, because Lucas is way better in this than I am, so it's way easier for me to show to you guys. And if you fail in the beginning, don't be like upset or anything. It's one of the hardest, if not the hardest strategies out there. But at the same time, if you can somehow master it, you will have huge success in war, in trophy pushing, whatever you're doing. You can use this strategy at Town Hall 9, 10, 11, and Town Hall 12. Everything is working with that. Obviously, you have like 2 small adaptations to the army, but that shouldn't be a problem at all. So this is going to be the next attack, and we want to take a next look at a pretty similar strategy, but at the same time as a strategy which you can start everything with your Lalo attacks. And I will explain to you guys as well why it's easier than the current Sui Lalo attacks. So once again, Fazi is showing why and how to do this. So the first thing you want to do, once again on this one, or what he is doing, he is taking out the Town Hall, like this area over here. I will speed everything up a little bit because this isn't the phase you want to concentrate on. You want to concentrate on the Lalo part. So he's doing the Town Hall Sui once again. Meanwhile, he's bouncing in Wizard Tower, which is a huge base building error, which should never happen. And Queen is once again going inside. I have to admit it was a bit lucky. And now the next phase is going to be the Slammer. And this is an Electron attack. But you might ask now, why the heck is this easier than Sui Lalo? The pretty simple reason for that is that there are 2 parts of this base by now which are taken out, like this on the left and this huge part on the right. This means you don't have any, like all of those defenses you have to drop on your loons, because this time you don't have that many defenses anymore. Like what Lucas had to do, he had to drop like at least 1 million different or he had to drop his loons on 1 million different defenses. Meanwhile, Parsi has to drop his loons onto 1, 2, 3, 4 defenses, which is pretty much nothing compared to the drop points Lucas had. So this is way easier and gets you guys started to actually learn those Lalo pathings, because you will see in a second as well, as soon as he's getting like higher up, he knows how to drop his loons that his main group, his big push from the beginning, always stay inside. So what he's doing next, he's dropping a couple of loons over here, then over here, which means all of his big push will stay inside and just keep going. Meanwhile, the next group is coming in from the top. Tesla from the outside are getting cleared, and this means the loons are flying into a straight line. Not perfect timing, but still. And then once again grouping up and going through the rest of the space. So nicely done by Parsi. And like I said, this is pretty much a strategy on how to like get familiar with the loon pathing, because you don't have to worry about too much like in the Sui Lalo attacks. Sui Lalo is way stronger than way harder to actually execute than those Electron attacks. I have one more attack to show you guys, and once again I try to explain to you why he's doing what he's doing. This one is an Electron kill squad attack. So it's pretty similar to Electron, but you support your Slammer with the Electro Dragon as well to get like more value out of the pretty much second phase, I guess. What he's doing in here, because the CC is pretty close to the Town Hall, he's going for pathing for his Slammer and his Electro Dragon later on. He's trying to make sure that he can drop something onto this Inferno Tower, and then later we have to check out the positioning of the sweepers. One is pointing over here and one is pointing over here, which means this over here is completely free. This obviously as well, but there's way too much stuff over here, so you can't really come in over there. So this means he can drop his Electro Dragon, his Slammer, and the Baby Dragon, just to make sure that he can clear the enemy enemy Dragon out. Then he's using one test loon and now Baby Dragon to clear out the Inferno Towers, like 900 IQ at least. Then Clone and Rage in the core. This means the enemy queen is gone immediately. He's clearing out a couple of more expos. And then once again, we pause at this time, and he took out like this entire section of the space, which means the Lalo platform is way easier. On this one, Yo-Yo has to drop his loons onto 2 defenses, and once again 2 defenses, which means we have in total 4 drop points so far, which once again, if you compare that with the Lalo from Lucas, is nothing, because he had like 8 or 10 drop points. So once again, the pathing is really good as well. And one thing you can see in Yo-Yo's attack perfectly is the pathing which he's creating. Like his main push, his main group, which is this one, is always flying into one direction. He's never heading back or anything. It's always flying into one direction, which makes his Lalo even better. So let's check it out. He's coming in with another group of loons from the bottom to take out those defenses, which means the loons from the top can fly like this, won't have to take too much damage or anything. Coming in from the left side with a couple of more loons to tank for the Tesla tank the Tesla farm, and then getting into the Town Hall, getting rid of the last couple of Tesla. And this is going to be once again a huge overkill and a really nice attack by Yo-Yo. So that's pretty much on how you do it. I hope you guys learned something once again from this video. I hope you guys will try it on your own on how to attack with the Electron or Sui Lalo. If it won't work from the beginning on, don't mind. It will take some time. Like I said, it's one of the hardest strategies in the game right now. But if you mastered it, you will be one top guy in your clan for sure. So have fun with that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.